Well, well, well. There's a rich Sinistello over there, spending their points, getting first. Hi, everyone. It's Tuesday. We're only going to be doing a morning stream today. And the goal is to launch a new version, although possibly not on stream. But yeah, I got to get the playtest pipeline up and running. A rare awake me. You feeling groggy? You with it already? Wake up on the right side of the bed? All right, Adam is only going to stream for the morning today. The goal is to get the playtest version ready, although it probably won't fully complete while streaming. Yeah. All right, and when we do publish that playtest version, I wonder if I should mention... Yeah, maybe mention in the document that the Apple Core icons are placeholders. Also, man, I've been getting some Steam feedback that I just don't totally know what to do about. Okay, some of this is new, and I should look at this for sure. But this, for example, this person said stuff that I would like to see. And they say, a way to make so heroes go to more than one battle. So when they defeated a map, they go to the next one that you choose. A couple people have asked for this, and I keep asking them, why do you want this? And then nobody answers. Like, I don't understand this. There's no reason to do this in the game. So people are asking for this because they've got some reason in their head, and I want to know what that reason is. I can't tell if they're thinking it'll be better for them to swap their party up, or they're trying to satisfy customer needs or something. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to respond to this yet, but I'll write this down for today. Respond to all of the Steam discussions. Actually, we should probably respond to this one right now. Cannot open the game. Download can't open. Game auto close and start. No pop up. Have reinstalled the game. Okay, so let me mention this. Sorry, I will respond to this. Hey, would you please take a look at this thread and see if this solves your issue? Yeah, I think that's what's going wrong for some people, but I haven't confirmed the op there. Hey, Phil. He woke up when my boyfriend got up to get ready. Usually sleep right through that. That's kind of nice that you usually sleep through it, right? Like, it means that you're not a light sleeper. Okay, yeah, respond to all Steam discussions. We'll do that. I guess we're doing all of this today. So we got to look through the PR again. I should probably update the GIFs as well. Yeah, let's just, whatever. I want to get through my list. I shouldn't keep thinking about what's streamable content. Because really none of development is streamable. And yet I've been doing it anyway. So final PR. Let's go find that. I think Kevin said he updated this. Oh, wow. New adventure ability icons. Sorry, hold the phone. Here's the first pass at all the new ability icons. If any of them don't make sense, I can try a different route. I also noticed while going through all the older ones that some of them got a little messed up when I saved them. When I save the Adobe Illustrator file as an SVG, it moves some of the paths around slightly, which is annoying. I think it has to do with the floating point numbers or the positions being too large. Went back and adjusted some. Wow. Well, I'm very curious about this, but let's treat that as a reward for looking through the more technical one. Oh man, new icons though. I was just writing down here, mention that the Apple Core icons are placeholder. What we should probably do is anytime we have a placeholder, literally write the word placeholder on it and like don't report this as a bug or something. That way people know. All right, so hold off on that for a bit. The custom styling for Elite Battles, I guess wasn't done yesterday because it says 2 hours ago. Made some adjustments. When was this? Oh, yeah, 2 hours ago. Okay, good. Made some adjustments, and this is working well now. Thank you for reviewing it. Add some call next frames. All right, docked boss windows can move slightly. All right, let's go try this out. 1101. GHPR, check out 1101. Yeah, anyway, I'm feeling pretty good. Yesterday was productive. I worked a little extra beyond what I wanted to. Then I only did a tiny bit of work in the evening after the stream, and it was mostly on marketing stuff. I had shared on Discord that I use ChatGPT to get leads for who to reach out to. And I didn't do a great job at it. So then ChatGPT didn't do a great job at it. And it gave me like 4 emails, and 2 of them I had. So it gave me 2 people that I could reach out to. So it's like, okay, whatever, 2's better than nothing. But as a result of that, then someone in the community, I don't know if they want to be named or not, that's why I'm leaving them anonymous, they sent me their own research of this, and that gave me, I think, like 12 more emails or 14 emails. So these are people I can reach out to and ask, like, hey, will you make a video on Skeleseller? And yeah, I know this might sound a little silly, but like finding them is potentially a problem. If you said, hey, give me every YouTuber who plays indie games, for example, like there is no way to do this right now. You can search indie games on YouTube. You can try to find channels. You can maybe search Google, but it's like you're wading through pages and pages of information. And how do you know they're going to like your game? So that's actually something AI has been pretty good at. And, well, it's been decent at it. Shouldn't say pretty good. All right, so there was only 1 commit since I looked at this. So all I need to do is review this 1 commit. And I think I even wrote here, if things are fixed, then I think we're going to merge. Yeah. Changing margins to accommodate the border in elite battles is causing the windows in the scroll container not resize. Change the hierarchy slightly. Made it the root so that it works better, and added explicit calls to update the sizes. Okay. This has got to be the thing I'm probably most frustrated by in Godot. I feel like all the random size things we've had to change and updating sizes ourselves, I feel like that probably shouldn't happen. Hey, Kevin. I forgot there was this stream. How about that pie stream yesterday, huh? How long did he play that game for? Update panel size. And this gets called from 1 extra location here, which is set panel style. Okay, I think that's probably pretty reasonable. And then what's this one? Resize. When changing between elite and regular battles, the size of the instance slots may change, so we need to make sure the containers... Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, let's go try this out. It was so good until a bit after midnight. Man, I don't remember when I showed up. Because midnight your time would have been 9 p.m. my time, but it was when I was doing marketing stuff. I don't remember when that was. So yeah, I'm not sure how long after I left. My message about jokingly falling asleep, I'm like, you know what, that's a pretty good message to leave on. So that's when I ended up leaving the stream. The game itself looks like something that I would never play. Never. I would probably hate that kind of game. Like it's a game that feels too much like work. What is this? What's the game called? Root Tree something mystery? I'll just type this in, I'll probably find it. The root trees are dead. Yeah, this. So this game is, from what I could glean, all about you figuring out who is who in a family tree. And there's some like giant family tree. You're probably trying to solve a murder or something. I don't actually know. I didn't see that much. And it's like you're reading through books in the game and then filling out details that you find and like using tools in the game to research more about those details that you found. Man, it just did not look fun to me. But I seem to be having an okay enough time. Plus, I guess as a streamer, it's just content. All right, so yeah, this looks good. We got to run this, and then we got to try this out. The way that we tested this last time was by having many boss battles open. So I guess let's do that here. Hey, Krishna. How's it going? Welcome in. I see that you are somewhat new to Twitch. How have you been finding your time on Twitch? Or is it just new to making an account? All right, so we're going to start 3 battles here. And then we're going to just mess around with this stuff. Toggle invincibility. Okay, so we can't move these right now, but if we shrink the window, we can. Good. If I undock them all, we can move them to the bottom of the screen. It's pretty good. Hey, Cheap, how goes it? All right, by the way, this is a problem that someone else hit in the game. They made this too large so that they couldn't close this battle window. And the only way to close it is with this X button right here. So I'm actually not totally sure what we should do about this. One thing that we could do is make sure that the right side of this is always visible on screen, so that at least if your game window is too small, you can still close the window. The other thing we could do is we could put a button here that'll close the window. Maybe only in the large version we could do that. In fact, I should probably write that down as an idea. When the battle windows are too large for the game window, the X button can be off screen. Maybe only for the large size battle window. We can add an X button elsewhere, but then maybe you wouldn't be able to minimize it. Maybe we could always have the right side of the window be on screen. Alternatively, we could just prevent using the large size when the game window isn't big enough. We can probably figure that out. Yeah, we can probably figure that out. Games really come together. Yeah, it is. It's great to see. Like, even just this morning, I searched Skeleseller. I do this pretty much every time I wake up. And I clicked recently uploaded, and I saw this person who made a video. I'll share this in chat. If you've seen Skeleseller videos, if you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all. And I'm not saying this person did a bad job or anything. It's just they're playing the game, and the game doesn't have that many choices you can make. This person, I think, has about 900 subscribers. So, like, it'll be more views on the video. And they said that they saw someone else playing it. So maybe they saw one of these videos and thought, oh, I'll cover that too. So anyway, it's nice. It's nice to see people wanting to play. Let's try with the smallest windows and dock these. Set that to auto repeat. Yeah, I think this is looking good. And then let's test with regular windows and then a mix of the windows. So let's get 3 regular windows. How are you doing, Sheep? Oh, can we buy the game? No, there's only wishlisting it right now. It hasn't fully launched yet. Okay, that's looking good. If we shrink this, that's looking good. And then what if we mix in another window? Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, I don't see anything unusual going on here. So I'd say we're fine with all of this stuff. But if there is anything unusual, hopefully people find it. Wish listing, thank you. And thank you too, Krishna. Okay, so I think we are looking good on this. I also want to run .NET format. Run .NET format. Although we don't need to do that here. So yeah, these changes ended up working out. We didn't have too much of a back and forth. There was like 2 sets of issues, I guess. Yeah. So thanks for doing this and for fixing the issues. I really like the result. And admittedly, I considered this an unfun task. So you've done exactly what you were brought to the team to do. Sure, Kevin will appreciate that. only the bad tasks. The only thing that in my mind kind of made this a bad task or like unfun task, like I said, the result is great. I love it. And both from an artwork and from a dev perspective, but it's a change to UI, and it's a change to UI in like a slightly special way. So we couldn't just drop something new in. We needed to change a whole lot of other things. Hey, wait a second. This commit said change the hierarchy. Oh, yeah. I looked through that. I was like, I don't think I reviewed that, but I did review that. Okie dokie. So next up is this, 1104. I'm very excited about this. Quickie Joe's been working hard on these icons, and I've never seen them before. So this is going to be the first time that I witnessed these. And also the first time that all of you, except for Quickie Joe, will witness these too. What is this? Oh, we have this already. All right, let's take a look. So this, oh, what happened there? Oh, I might need to restart this. Dimensions are too small. Oh. Boy. Oh, also there are 2 slashes in here. That's a problem. The dimensions of path. Get all SVG paths. Why are there 2 slashes in here? How is that possible? Get resource paths is returning it then? Oh, because I'm with a slash here, so we don't need to do this. I wonder if there's like a path combine in Godot. We should use that. It doesn't really matter if we do or not, because clearly it seems like it's working, but there might be a way to do this. Is there a join? Path join, yeah. Concatenates path at the end of the string as a subpath, adding slash if necessary. And it's just on string? Did they just add this in on C# as well? Test.path join? Oh, wow, they do. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so then all we have to do here is this dot path join file name. Oops. Okay. And technically we should do the same thing here, right? Next directory dot path join file name, yeah. And if we're gonna do that for both of these, then we can just get string joined path is that, and then it should know to replace this and replace the next one. Pretty interesting and well crafted, but definitely not a game I'd play alone. Yeah. Yeah. What game are you playing? Okay, this should work. This is not super important. Is there a directory check on here? How do you even search for this? No. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that's a problem. All right, and anyway, this is not the reason that this is problematic. This is saying that accelerated regeneration needs to have a width and a height here. Width equals 64, height equals 64, except for this needs to be 128. So we're going to copy this, and we're probably going to end up adding this practically everywhere. Hey, Matt, you're playing Rematch? Rematch game. Online multiplayer football game. Have you played Rocket League? I'm not actually sure if I've played Rocket League, or if I have, I've probably played for like 3 minutes, but I've got some friends who are like really into that game. I like the idea of Rocket League. All right, so is there an easy way to find this? There might not be. I hope this isn't with all 44 new icons, but if it is, I'll just blanket change them, because I guess we can get the paths of those pretty easily. Yeah, it's going to break with all of them, I think. Okay, that's fine. Although this is a problem. That's weird. The view box is fine to do. Why is this complaining? Are there 2 of these? No. Oh, do I need to click this? Oh, yeah, I forgot to click Godot. My bad. I only have 1,500 hours in Rocket League. Have you heard of Rocket League? Okay, yeah, so now Boulder. Okay, so yeah, let's just go get the list of these from here. This should be easy to do. There should actually be a way of doing this with the commit. So if I copy this and I say git diff that. No, I want to see just the file names. How do you do that? Git diff dash dash help. Name. Okay, this is exactly the use case for ChatGPT, so let's just do that. I've done this before. I don't remember what it is. How do I run git diff in such a way that I only see the file names? I think I even ran this as part of the release tool. Name only, that's what it is. Dash dash name only. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted the diff from before that, I guess. So we need the parent of that. I guess we can just compare to this. Rematches Rocket League without cards. Well, when I read that it's casual and saw that it's 5v5, I was like, oh, it's probably like Rocket League. So without even knowing anything else about the game, that's kind of the first thing that came to my mind. All right, does this work? Bad object. Oh, because that doesn't exist here yet. So it would have been the parent of this. It would have been whatever Quickie Joe based this off of. Or I should just merge main in. Man, I'm doing a really shoddy job at this. All right, let's just pick this one. We're just going to do this until we eventually get some SVGs. Okay, great. We got some SVGs. That's all I wanted. So now pipe this into PB copy. And now we just search for SVG. We delete every other line. And here's everything. So now we need to open every single one of these files. This should be very easy to do because this is all inside the game folder. So we're just going to put an S before all of these and then run every single one of these things. In fact, we could probably combine it into one line. Yeah. I can probably delete this and just run that and then join all of these and then run this. Look at that syntax highlight. Did it work? It did work. Okay, cool. Now we go and we change this everywhere. All right, should be easy. Yeah, there are only like 40 of these files, so I'm just going to do this manually because it's taking like 2 seconds per file. Yeah. And there, I've just made it much faster per file. Some of these view boxes are 64 and some of them are 128. And I believe that's like the canvas area for an SVG. We're in the S's already, so we're almost done. Oh, it doesn't auto format. Oh, I think we're finished. Okay, so now we should be able to run this and we won't get anything. Get show dash dash name only. Yeah, that's, yeah. I don't know if the stream is delayed, but I did end up finding that. And hey, Hideo, long time no see. What brings you to my neck of the woods? Let me show everyone Hideo's chat history. September 13th. And then today. I'm calling Hideo out. Don't know if the editor. Oh, yeah, my bad. I am very excited to see these icons, though. All right, so now it should finally build. Good. We have no errors here. And if we make the new adventurers, oh my goodness, look at these. Earth and Taunt, Gravel, Rock Throw. Oh, there's a bug on Rock Throw. Did I have this bug anywhere else? Hang on, I want to look at the other icons, but I need to fix that. Rock Throw doesn't have a space. What a blunder. Okay. Yeah, all these are visible. Boulder looks pretty good. Nature's Protection, love it. Sturdiness, pretty cool. Resilience, sort of the opposite of gravel here. I think that's good. Yeah. Solidity, that's pretty nice. Rock Formation, reduce the amount of time, and then Earth and Shield. Yeah, pretty cool. You don't have my lurk history. Just waiting on a CI job. Hideo's like, I've got 17 seconds here. Don't call me out. Well, it's good to see you again, Hideo. I've been thinking about you. Hey, Musco Busto. I was thinking about how, well, anyway, I'm not going to, I guess, share this with the world. I'll leave it at that because beyond this, I might be leaking Hideo's personal information. Okay, Spore Cloud looks great. Heart of the Forest, love it. Fungal Spread. To me, I'm not totally sure about this one, but I don't think it's problematic. I'm not certain what this is communicating to me exactly. But like I said, I think this is fine. I think just having an icon for it is good. Okay, this one's Poison Mind. Yeah, this is super cool. Accelerated Regeneration. All right, again, we're just looking at the icons here. I've never seen this artwork before. So I'm just seeing, does it make sense with what we have in the descriptions for these? All right, pressing the lurk history button. Hey, go Deke. Thanks for the resub. Your first Spore Cloud happens sooner. Sounds good. Dying Blow. I like the little tombstone in the background here. By the way, we can zoom in on this a little bit. All right, there we go. I can zoom with the OS, but it doesn't work in OBS for some reason. So like I can zoom in more, but then you wouldn't be able to see it. So let's do this and then just increase the size of the window so that we can see just that stuff. Yeah. Okay, what's this one? Improved fungal spread. Okay. Frenzy. Chance to use it on an extra enemy. Pretty cool. Close call. When at less than 25% health, your power is increased. Also cool. And invigorate. Upon dying, increase the power of your allies. Yeah. Nice. Okay. All this is great. All of this is great. Now there's one more character we can look through. This is fantastic. I love the summon spirits thing. Snake spirit, awesome. Quickie Joe has drawn more snakes for this than any other thing in his life, probably. Empower spirit, I like it. All right, now we get these. Dog spirit, it's just a happy dog. Cat spirit, it's a cat licking itself. The fairy spirit, looks good. This is improved snake spirit, I like it. Spirit command. This is they use it more frequently. Yeah, that's good. Dual targeting and improved empower spirit. Nice. And by the way, the empower spirit stuff, like this has this arrow here. The mage also has that same arrow for empower. And I think there's one other thing that had that. So it's like we're even consistent between, yeah, this invigorate. So yeah, this is wonderful. It is really great. All right, that's fantastic. So let's go into the art request thing, and I can delete all of this. So we've done it all now. Done so far. Thank you for all of the hard work. We'll add more soon. Yeah. Yeah, there was some art I was thinking of in the reusing locations. That's probably what we need to work on tomorrow. Yeah. Wednesday. Need to blaze a trail on reusing locations. Need to make sure art requests is updated. Because I think that's the last, well, maybe not the last thing that we'll need artwork for. Especially, oh man, achievements. I think achievements all have a little icon. But maybe we can use icons from the game that we already have. Because now we've got a nice collection of them. And it might not always make sense, but probably there's an icon that's going to make sense for something. Like, let's say we have an achievement that says feed the garbage slime 10,000 gold worth of stuff. We could just use this as the achievement icon. So yeah, I think we should do that. And that'll reduce the art burden. Figure out the art requirements here. I'd love to reuse ability/perk icons. Hang on, this is a Tuesday. Yeah, hey Caleb. I'm starting to stream every weekday, but Tuesday and Thursday are just mornings. And today the main goal is to get to the point where we launch a playtest version, but that's not really the goal of the stream. That's a goal of the day. So we might not finish it in the next like 2-3 hours. But that's okay. Yeah, so this looks great. I have no qualms with any of this stuff. Let's set the game scale back to what it was. And all I did is change the widths and heights here. No, I did more than that. But some of these don't really belong here in this PR. So let's check in just the SVG changes. These are all like so dead simple. Oh, wait, they also added a line at the end. All right, well, they're still dead simple, but let's just do a git diff here. We should see the exact same change everywhere. So that's all we're looking for. Width and height should be set to 128. There should be nothing extra. So we're just going to skim through this super fast. It should not take very long. The new lines at the end of the file I don't care about. So just as long as I didn't add extra spaces or something, or delete the view box. I think it would have resulted in the icons looking weird. So yeah, I don't. Oh, wait, there's one other thing we have to do. Quickie Joe said that he updated some of the old icons. I did not look at those old icons. All right, I'll need to do that. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be a tiny bit harder to figure out because we have all of the icon files here, but we need to know which adventures they correspond to. Brain.svg. What is that? Is that for wisdom sludge? Brain. Mental swiftness. Okay, mental swiftness. Let's go look at that one. The problem is, I know he said he fixed these, but like, I don't know what these used to look like. So I guess if it looks good to me now, then it's fine. But I kind of want to at least know what he was talking about here. So I guess we can do this. We can go to the current version and type in brain.svg, and maybe we'll be able to spot the difference. Ignore the colors. The color is being changed due to the game. I don't really see a difference, but that's okay. Like I said, I don't really need to spot it. As long as it doesn't look bad, and it doesn't look bad, then I think we're fine. So I'll try with another couple of these, but yeah, what are the odds I actually can even tell? Close call, is that here? Oh no, close call's on mushy. We already looked through all of those. Those are fine. Crops.svg. Okay, what's crops.svg? Is this for the quick? Oh no, crop variety. Okay, let's take a look at that one. Seems like a rendering color effect. Yeah, that, ignore that. The color is just because in game it would render a little differently. So this is the crop variety one. Let's take a picture of this. Also, hey Rambling, and hey Chris. It's going well. It's going really well. Making some good progress here. So this one's called crops. Can I spot a difference here? Again, this looks a little bit more pixelated because I zoomed in using the image editor. If we zoom out, it'll look less pixelated, but then they're not really the same size. I can't spot a difference. Okay, well, I'm just going to trust that Quickie Joe did a good job on these. I mean, we could look through all of them. How about this? Let's just glance at all of the icons. I'll unlock everything, and we'll just see if anything looks funky. I don't think it's going to. And the enchanter as well. What are we looking for? I'm not totally sure. Quickie Joe said... it moved some of the paths around slightly. So I don't know how slightly. Maybe it was like a pixel or something. Maybe it was some lines got messed up somehow. So let's just look quickly. Do any of these look broken? No, none of these do. None of these do. Yeah, I'm not totally sure how these paths would have messed up. Was lightning reflexes changed? This looks awesome. I don't remember seeing the little lightning bolt. No, it was always that way. Wow. All right. I just like that artwork. I don't know if I noticed that. Anything here? Yeah, I don't see anything problematic. Okay, so far so good. We only have 2 more characters to look through. And then the 5 perks tabs. Yep, looks fine. Yeah, looks fine. And then perks. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think everything's good. Okay. The pads moved in the file, so diff only. I don't think so, because of what he says here. Has to do with floating point numbers of the positions being too large. If it was just a path moving in the file, he wouldn't have mentioned floating point numbers, I think. But like I said, I'm not sure. You know what we could do, I guess, is we could compare. How about this? Let's do this really fast. Let's look at crops.svg here, and then get the one from here, and get the raw file here. Oh, you can't do that. How do you edit an SVG? Okay, here we go. There's the SVG. Okay, so then we're comparing crops to this. Compare with that. All right, so ignore the view box. That part doesn't matter. Oh, man, everything changed. Okay, yeah, I won't be able to tell from just looking at this. However, I think this is possibly because the view box changed, which maybe I changed. I don't know. But yeah, as long as nothing looked weird, doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're going to check in all of this stuff. Set width and height of SVGs. This changes what size they get rasterized at. And we just want to check in the SVG files here, which is basically the entire commit. All right, so we commit that, and then we push this back to the branch. I'll just stash what I have, git stash. And then we need to make sure that I remember to stash pop that in just a little bit. Stash pop. So sync. And now we should see my commit show up here. Yeah, there it is. These look fantastic. Wait, does hearts not work? Only stars works? Okay, well, then stars it is. I just modified the sizes. Nothing to worry about changing a workflow or anything in the future, since it takes me hardly any time. Commit and merge. Nice. Okay, so this has been reviewed. Now we stash pop. We cannot forget about this because I had two important things. This one's pretty important. I think this looks very unprofessional. If we have an ability that doesn't have a space in it. So fix or like add missing space in rock throw name. And then this one is just properly join paths. This shouldn't really have an impact. I just noticed that an error message printed with 2 slashes in a directory path. I think pretty much every operating system knows how to deal with them. So let's say we're in, I don't know, the Skeleseller folder, and we have a path like game/source. I think you can always just type something like this. Yeah. I haven't seen this be a problem on Windows either, I'm pretty sure. And I've probably tested it on Linux, and it's probably fine there too. But still, like, why count on that being fine? Might as well just properly form a path. So that's what we're doing here. Set to width and height in case we ever want to modify them all or something. Yeah, that's true. I think if we ever change them all, that's probably what we do. Although actually, you know what? If we're changing them all, I guess we just use find and replace in VS Code, because the only place where we type exactly these characters is in SVG files. But yeah, a script would be fine for that too. Okay, so that is done. We've checked that in. I have nothing outstanding, right? Git status is, ooh, darn it. I put these on the wrong branch. Okay, let's do a git log -1. No, -2. Yeah, so I want both of those onto main. Git cherry pick that and that. Now git log -2 should have properly joined paths, add missing space. Yep, so git push this. All right, now that is great. We got that working. Now we're on .NET format. I18N has our like new thing. Oh, I'm in the wrong tab. Not that it matters. All right, we'll give this some time to run. This, I expect to find at least something, because I vaguely recall seeing an import that wasn't needed. Yeah. But I don't remember where, and I was just like, oh, I'll run this eventually. So now we can go fix all of these things. Oh, does it auto fix them? No, it doesn't. All right, there's 1, there's 2, and there's the 3rd one. And then what's this? Element documentation header should not be followed by a blank line. Oh, that might have been my bad. All right, let's run this one more time. It shouldn't find anything now. How long did that take? 24 seconds? Doesn't the autofix have an option to remove all unused imports for the whole project? It might, yeah. I know it has it for the whole file. I didn't actually check to see if it was for the whole project. Also, hi, dig it. Okay, cool. So now we're done with that. All right, so fix linting issues. There were just 4 of them, 3 usings and a space. Yeah. Yeah, these are not super important, but you never know what it'll find. Okay, so next up, improve Steam GIFs. So this is what I started to do yesterday, and I was super happy with this process. This was awesome. So we got to write this down in my like Mac notes somewhere, because this is awesome. Where is, oh, I don't have this. Quick reference. Here we go. Cap for capturing video, and then GIFski for processing them into GIFs. e.g. for social media or Steam. Now let's get a link to Gifski, which I think has its own website. Yeah. I'm just so impressed by this program. Because this task has historically always been marred by the same things that I was talking about, like on my Steam page right now. These GIFs being dithered like this and having these little crosses that just change the color of it. That's how GIFs have always been for me. I've just never exported a good GIF. Or if I have, it's been through a heavyweight program. Like I use proper editing software and then it takes me forever and there's no like preview for the file size or anything. I just know from Ryder where every suggestion gives you the option to apply it to either the file or the project. Yeah, it might. I'm not positive. Why do you prefer cap to native screen capture? I didn't even know there was a native screen capture. So that's my answer for that. Hey, Luke, how are you doing? I'm doing well. How's it going for you? I've only ever used the native screenshot capture, and for that, I definitely want it to be what I'm using now, which lets me mark things up. But yeah, video-wise, I don't think I ever tried the native one. I think Hideo recommended this a while ago, and I was just like, well, if it works for Hideo, it's going to work for me. Hey, Goose. Happy Canada Day. Oh, man, it is July 1st. Wow. Yeah. I was just talking about yesterday, I got to figure out the plan for July and August, and I came up with it. And I was like, it's still June, though. If you open QuickTime Player, there's an option to record your screen. I just use cap. I'm not necessarily looking for something else at this point. I hadn't considered not even using an external program. Okay, so we wrote this down. I might also have a note in my Steam notes about this. Did I write this about cap or GIF? No, I didn't. One-liners, if on... Is Gifski's only on Mac, right? I would highly... Oh, wow, it is on Windows. Wow. Okay. So not if on Mac, just regardless. To make GIFs, I highly recommend Gifski. It's still on my clipboard, right? No, Canada Day is on my clipboard. Goose. It's so easy, and you can preview export sizes to make sure you'll fit Steam's requirements. Also, one for video, you can assign a shortcut to a Shift Command 5. I probably disabled that at some point, which means I must have known that it existed. Iron Crusader. Yeah, masterpiece of a tool indeed. What is this change that I have? Is it the linting change? Yeah, I just never pushed. All right, it's Giffen time. Peter Giffen. So we got to update all of the things that are on here, which is what, 4 of them? Yeah. Okay, well, no one said this part's going to be fun, but it is necessary. Although, do all of them look bad? This one does. This one does. This one's not as bad, but we should probably update it anyway. And yeah, this one does. Okay, yeah, they all pretty much look bad. Did it not work for you? I didn't catch where you ran the formatter, but it's probably because the other project files don't include the analyzers. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. It's not a big deal to me if I have to do that manually, because I do it so rarely. 3 looks good. It doesn't look as obviously bad as the other ones, but I think it... Oh, you can't zoom in? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so when you zoom in, you can see that like cross-hatch effect that shows up. And it's like even... Anyway, I think we can improve all of these. So let's try to get exactly this stuff. Yeah, this will take time. There's no two ways about it. I got to like set up the scenarios and I got to get them to work. In this case, what we did is I was trying to not get that like vignette effect too much. We should probably just turn that off. Well, let's record it with it and see what it looks like. So let's go to the intro. We need to not skip the intro. So let's go to main, skip. Skip intro is going to be false. And then we need to probably get rid of this. There's also something that lets us skip immediately to another scene. Debug, skip to specific scene. So this is wake up scene, we free, and then we want to go to the quest accept scene. Yeah, and then we just call this from the bottom of ready. And let's run this and see what happens. Actually, we want to directly skip to... We can't go right into the intro, can we? I guess we could just look at this. Skip and skip. Go to the main scene town. Let's go to main intro. Yeah, that should work. So now as soon as I run the game, it should just go right into that scene that I want. And we should see a snake. Nothing's working. What? It's just a black screen? I wonder if I broke this function. All right, let's not do debug skip to specific screen. Let's at least make sure we're in the intro properly. Does it have to be GIFs on Steam? Yeah, I think it has to be GIFs. Okay, so yes, we can skip to the intro, but for whatever reason, we're not. Oh, wait, I think I know what we're not doing. No, this just fades in the skip thing. Oh, I wrote Q free. Oh my God. I think the AI put that in there for me. Whoops. Do you work on this off stream? Yeah, I do. Although typically not via code. Like last night I did some marketing stuff. Oh, this is wrong. I meant the battle scene. The initial state would also work. Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. All right, so we want to not fade in the scene. Oh no, actually we could. What's happening in this? Because I like the content of this. I just don't like the appearance of it. So it starts with this character taking damage, and then we get poisoned, and then we say, I need an antidote. All right, so let's try that again. So they take damage. We get poisoned. It says, I need an antidote. So we should just record that little segment and probably get rid of the vignette effect. Can I just do that? I'm not actually certain that's going to work. I like to use FL Studio. Yeah, I like FL Studio. Yeah, so ignore all the blockiness. That's what the vignette effect is stopping you from seeing. But for the sake of our GIF, we can now record a rectangle and not have any weird bars showing up. Okay, so we gotta position this correctly. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take a picture of, this might not work. We're gonna take a picture of exactly when it's got the antidote thing on screen. There. And I wanna make this take up as much space as it did originally. And then I wanna position the video recorder based on this. We want this to be 600 and, oh wait, oh my God, there's a process for this. Oh, I just messed everything up, didn't I? I gotta set it to use a scale of 1, I think. Although I don't remember why I did that. I think the release tool mentions it. There's something about, yeah, here it is. Record video in cap, export as a GIF. Use GIFski to convert it to a GIF, drag the GIF onto the page. I wrote some guidelines for how to record these things, but I don't remember where. Was it in the trailer? Give me a sec. Because there was a reason why I needed to like change the game scale and stuff. Add GIFs. Why is this? Oh, hey, nice. Here it is. When recording through cap, it doubles the resolution, so I need to size it to 308 and height from 50 to 175. Record at a 1x game scale so we can show more at once. What does that mean? I guess in this case, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see. Oh, this is so difficult. I got to figure out how much of this scene we want you to be able to see for the GIF. I guess it just needs to be when you can see this. So maybe let's record at 1x and just see what it looks like. You also stream when you're composing in Fruity Loops. I do occasionally, but it's not frequent. Does this matter if we can resize in GIF ski afterwards? I think it does, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, because I think GIFSKI I don't think lets you crop in terms of, let's say you recorded something that's, I don't know, 400 by 300. I don't know if you can crop it to be 200 by 300. So like you just chop off the top half of it. If that's possible, then yeah, this wouldn't matter. So I guess let's try that out. Do I have a video still? I was doing this somewhere, I think in Delete Me. Yeah, there's our MP4. So we can just drag this onto here and we can test this right now. I just do this. Oh yeah, we can. So what if oh wait, no, but this is locked to the same aspect ratio. So if I set this to like 100, it changes this too. Yeah, we can't change, we can't. Oh, wow. How did it just do that? It like detected that there was text here and let me select it. That's cool. But yeah, there's no way to crop it or change the aspect ratio. So I think the aspect ratio does matter, but not totally sure. Like I said, this is not exactly fun to do. All right, well, let's try this. So we need this to be 308 pixels, which would be just enough space to see this. So we probably do need to put this at a 1x game scale. All right. What did you just say to me? Welcome back. Thanks for the 20 months. Does OCR on most images? Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Okay. So let's set the game scale back to 1x then. And then we go to the title screen and then new game and then take a picture of this. There. Then zoom in and then get our positioning roughly based on this. So now we still need this to be 308 pixels, which I think it is. How do you see this? Drag from there. And then the height can only be 50 to 75-ish or 175. Like maybe that size. Yeah, that should look pretty good. Okay, let's record. And let's see if I line that up correctly. You can see this dotted line, right? Can you? You probably can. That's what we're trying to capture, though. So hopefully that was the right space. Looks like it so far. I think it's pretty centered. I need an antidote. And scene. Excellent job. Bravo. Hey, Kemble Soup. Oh, Luke, I'm definitely using GIFSKI for this stuff. It's going to be much easier. Kind of crazy to think that these days we have enough processing power to spend some of it optimistically looking for characters inside images without any noticeable performance effect. Yeah. Do they need to be a specific height? They only need to be apparently like 50 to 175 pixels tall here, so that when doubled, they get to 100 to 300. And I think that was a Steam suggestion more than it was a Steam requirement. Yeah, height is whatever you want, but something between 100 to 350 is probably best. I wrote this based on what I saw other Steam pages doing. So I don't want to violate expectations and have you like scroll super far down. So this is more of a guideline than a requirement. And in this case, it doesn't matter because I think we can fit everything pretty easily in this space. All right, so what's weird is this is all... Well, I guess we can't ever have the cursor show up. Oh, I got to write that down too, huh? But yeah, this GIF looks fine. We are going to need the cursor in the other one. So I'll write this down. Set the OS cursor size to the smallest possible so that it doesn't look comically large in the GIF. All right, so now we save this to disk. Convert along to. Yeah, I think so. First, let me write this down. This is intro poison. I think in talking to a bunch of people and in reading some marketing advice, I think the way that most people consume Steam pages, if you've already looked at games before, is you might rapidly click through the trailer, you'll look at the reviews, and you'll look at maybe the cost. I think those three things are super important for people. And then beyond that, I don't even know how many people look at the about this game section. I probably would. And maybe I'll read some reviews. Yeah, I'll typically read some reviews. This doesn't have them, but the demo does. So I'll typically like click here and go down. And to be honest, I sort by negative. And then I try to see what people are saying. Because if they have gripes like, oh, the dev said this thing on Twitter, it's like, I don't care about that. But if the gripes are the game is incomplete or it's super buggy, then yeah, I won't get it. Okay, so now we open this up in GIFSKI. Let's go do that. Intro poison. So we need this to be 616, 200. That's totally fine. FPS is fine. Quality. All right, so let's first look at our GIF. Here's what it would export. Oh, this is way longer than it needs to be because of this stuff, right? So what do we have in our original one? Where does it start? Starts with it just having taken damage already. Yeah, so we started like right here. And then it fades out. Okay. I want to show the start of the fade out, but not the whole thing. And the estimated size is 5.3. So let's try converting this and see. Maybe it'll be less than 5 because that's a requirement. We can't upload more than 5 megabytes onto Steam. Look at video and screen grabs, look at tags, look at price, look at reviews. Finally read details of interest. Yeah. Hey, Cuddlefish. Can you delete reviews? No. The only thing you can do, and this isn't deleting reviews, you can have a release page and you can have a demo page. And you can selectively enable or disable all reviews on the demo page. So you cannot do this on release pages, but for a demo, you can opt out of having reviews. So let's say your score is like 5% out of 100. You could just turn them off for the demo, but if you ever turn them back on, it'll be at 5% again. So it doesn't really ever make sense for you to turn them off, I think, because even if they're negative, what that means is that your game's going to get reviewed negatively too. It's not like you're really pulling one over on people. The only way I could kind of see it is if you drastically improved your game and you somehow knew that feedback was going to be positive and didn't want that marring your demo. But even at that point, it's like, just let the reviews get to be positive again. 100% want to see gameplay video, then read about, then go and read the top positive reviews, find the first negative one, check the price. Wow, yeah, it's pretty thorough. I don't tend to buy a lot of games on Steam, I guess. It's not like YouTube, how before, when you made a video private, you lost all those public comments and views. Oh, does that happen? I wasn't even aware of that. But yeah, on YouTube, you can delete specific comments. And part of the reason for that is it's just a totally different system. With reviews, if you could delete negative reviews, you wouldn't be able to trust any reviews because every game would look like it's at 100% positive. Because why would you leave the negative reviews around? So yeah, if you could selectively delete them, that'd be actively bad for consumers, I think. All right, I made it 3.1 megabytes. So now let's just open this. Yeah, this is looking so much better. I do see... Is that artifacting? Yeah, there is some artifacting here. You can see these little like green blobs around the character and around where the snake was. But it's not bad. And it's certainly much better than what we had before. Okay, so let's save this so I don't lose this. How do we go back to this? Yeah, there we go. Why can't it said, oh, there we go. Got it. And then let's go back. The quality was not set to max. That's probably why that happened. So let's bump this up to as much as we can. And then try exporting and seeing what the resulting size is. Yeah, maybe I can increase the quality. Because, yeah, it was only 3 megabytes. The problem is the preview is inaccurate at this point. Have you tried AI or machine learning de-artifacting? No, not explicitly. Okay, so we bumped it up a little bit. Let's see if we can notice the difference here. Try and expand this. Not really. No, I still see the same basic things happening. Maybe at the max quality it wouldn't. But still, let's save this one now. How do you drag this out of here? I can only drag from the right side for some reason. If I drag from the left side, it doesn't do it. Oh, now it does. All right, replace that. And then let's try one more time. Maybe we can bump this up some more. So I'll try bumping quality up to here. We'll hit convert. It says estimated size is 6.5. It doesn't end up being 6.5 though. So what did this one end up being? 4.7. Okay, that's probably pretty good. Let's see. Is there a difference in this one? Yes, there is. This got noticeably better. There's less of that smearing effect now. All right. Good. Cool. So we're done with 1 out of 4. I told you this would not be great. So now we need to go get customers to buy from the potion shop. So this one was just a square around the potion shop is what we recorded. Try max quality. Yeah, I guess might as well. Oh, did I save that? I hope I saved that. Let me see really fast. This should say 4.7 if I did. It's 4.3. I don't think I saved it. So we might need to undo this one if it's more than 5 megabytes and then redo it. Yeah, it's 5.7. Drat. You know what would be nice is if there was some way of saying to like binary search my way through quality and just find the one that doesn't exceed 5 megabytes but comes as close as possible to it. Yeah, so this is what we're going to use. We could actually bump this up even a tiny bit more. I'll try it one more time. We'll just bump it up to here. Then hit convert. I mean, might as well, right? This is a one-time thing. And I may never change this again. This could just be fine for the launch version of the game too. Yeah, 4.7. Okay, let's use that one. Come on, let me take it out of here. There we go. Okay, so next up is this shot. This shot means we need a potion shop that's completely upgraded. And then a bunch of different potions. So we're going to need enough customers. And a few workers. And probably a warehouse with some upgrades. How much more of this can I afford? I think that's it, right? No, I can afford one more. All right, now we grant a bunch of items. And I don't even think we zoom in here. I think we just try recording this square now. Oh, we might need to zoom out. Because this is already going to be too big, right? Yeah, it's going to be too big. But we could scale it in GIF. I guess let's try it out. So let's try recording this GIF. There are no potions there. We need some potions. I guess I'll just add more workers. I want some of these potions to be there too. We need many colors. Many colors of potion. Okay. Great. Now, go away, workers. Go away. Stop it. Nice. Now we should just see customers come in and buy some stuff. I don't like this. I think... Yeah, I don't like this. I don't want workers to be in the picture. I just want customers to be there. So I think we need to manufacture a state where I can fill the shop slots. Yeah, let's do that. So in town, we'll go to unhandled input. I'll type page up, and then we'll get this. And when you press this thing, what it's going to do is it'll find your potion shop. So get shop matching category, item category dot potion. Potion shop equals that. And then potion shop dot, is there a way to, I mean, we know this exists. Is there a way to add items? I don't remember how we even do this. Apparently not like this. All right, well, we could get the item displays maybe. Item displays, get item displays. Is this public? It's private, but we can just make it public for the sake of this. All right, so get the item displays and then just set that they have an item on them. Potion shop, get item displays for each. Display dot set item. Item dot create. I don't remember how you create an item, but it's got to be in. Is there a create here? There is a create here. It's item it's item ID and then quantity. Yeah, item dot create. And then we just type item ID dot something. So let's do small blue potion for now. Although I want this to be a variety of stuff. But let's try this out and see if this works. Tried running the game at different resolutions to see if that crops up any UI or gameplay issues. So it's all about game window size, not necessarily monitor resolution. And there are game window sizes that won't work, but we just generally say, well, that's just too small to play the game. So in other words, you're not supposed to be able to shrink this window down to like this size and still be able to play the whole game. But we can't detect what the minimum size is. So the player could do this and then realize, oh, some stuff is cut off, in which case they have to increase the size of the window. The monitor resolution stuff in Godot doesn't work on Windows or Linux. And I think it like partially works on Mac. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, test this. Okay, so we have created these potions, but there's something else I needed to do here. I had this code working for when we did the performance testing. Where was that? Maybe if I search for performance. No, I know what it was. It was preferring shops. Something like the armor shop, I think. So if we search for closed issues, I might be able to find this. Yeah, here it is, right there. And I should have code in here, I hope. Added some counting to this line, built the shops, never put items in the shop. No, it's something else. It was this, maybe? There's something I need to do when we call this, and I forgot what it is. But it makes the item get set back to where it should get set to. As you drop off item. Yeah, that's what it probably is. Drop off item. Gonna be doing scaling next to my game and I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, it's not fun. Is there a way to resize the map when you resize the window? I'm not totally sure what you mean. The idea that we wanted to go with here is exactly what's happening, which is just you see less of the game. So see how the map it's not zooming in, you're just seeing more of it. That's what we want to have happen. But yeah, you can zoom in or out with the mouse wheel if you want. All right, so that still didn't work. There's something more to it than this, and I don't remember what it is. So let's look at what a worker does in drop off item. They get the target display. Ooh, what? Drop off item. We pass in the position. What? Why does that not work? I don't think the position should matter here, right? Location. Make item fly to display. I mean, maybe it's needed. All this is eventually calling is set item, though. There's some other thing I need to do, and I just never remember what this thing is. I guess let's pass in a position, vector 2.0. I don't think this matters. It's going to make all the items fly from like a sort of imaginary point to the displays, but I think they're still going to look like they're hovering. I got to make it stop going into the intro. Yeah, they're floating there. What's doing this? Clickable equals false or was picked up or something? Yeah, maybe it's that. And then I should probably write this down somewhere. Item equals that. Item dot was picked up. Stop flashing and turn off collision. So I guess turn off collision must be doing it. Oh, because they're colliding with the item display? Hey, Shoe Strikers, and hey, Goose, another version. Well, this will be the... Okay, so I want to be clear about what's going on here. And then before I forget, let me do this, because this is annoying me. Right now, the only thing available is the demo. The demo hasn't had an update since, I'm just going to make up a number, like June 12th. Moving forward... We don't want new content to be in the demo since the demo is free. Hopefully that makes sense. Like we want to sell that content at some point. So we're going to make a playtest version, and then the demo is going to get some like quality of life or polish features or bug fixes, those sorts of things. So there will be two versions that are kind of made in parallel, and playtest is going to get the new content and on top of the demo. This will be limited to a certain group of people, but the demo is still going to be publicly available. So when I say new version, it's all the stuff I've developed in the last like couple weeks in terms of content. So the 3 new adventures that we have here, Spear, Caller, Mushy, and the Golem. And then it's going to be all the stuff that we as a team have developed for existing users. So as an example, when you fight a boss, let me do this really fast. All right, so when you fight a boss now, we have this boss battle border, the snakes and the bones here. Like that's something that'll be in the demo, because that's not something that people are going to be like, oh yeah, I really want to buy the game based on just how this looks. It's just a nice thing that signals that this is an elite monster. Okay, cool. So we finally fixed this. Now let's go to here. Also, I should make a debug function out of this. Let me put that here. I don't think drop off item is needed. I think we can just say set item and it should be fine. Let me test that really fast. And then we'll make it have different potions, and then we'll record the GIF. We'll put that on Steam. Why is it still going into this? Didn't I cut that out? Main. Oh, because the main state immediately goes to the intro. Yeah. All right. Well, now we fixed that. Yes, that works. Okay, so we want to save this code somewhere. And maybe I'll just copy all of this. And I'll probably save this in a debug function. Save this code in a debug function somewhere. Do the playtest with Steam keys so you can ban the keys after you test. We haven't done it yet, but it will be via Steam keys. But we don't need to ban them after the test. There's a Steam playtest feature that's official. So you can give out Steam keys, and then you can just set your playtest app to not available. And when you ever do set it to available, all the people who had keys will still be able to access the game. But that way you can control access kind of however you want. There's another feature which is probably mostly used by AAA studios, which is you can add a request access button to the Steam page. And then you can allow a certain number of people in. So let's say you're making, the next Elden Ring. You're probably going to get like 100,000 people who are interested. And you could say something like, oh yeah, let 1,000 people test it. So you only let in a small amount of the people that you have. We don't have that kind of demand. And I don't want to let everybody in. So I think we're just going to do a curated list of people. Okay, so we got this. Now what we want to do is we want to change the items that this could give you. So what are the cool looking items that we have? Let's come up with list item ID cool items equals. So let's do big red potion, big life potion, ogre blood, What is ogre blood called? Rage? No, what is it called? Black potion? There it is. Item ID dot. Are there other potions we want here? Big purple potion. Item ID dot medium green potion. Medium yellow potion. Okay, something like that. What do we have in the GIF that we're already using? Because I kind of liked that. Yeah, pretty much the same things. We also had the mana potion. I guess I'll put that in too. Item ID dot big mana potion. Cool. And then what we'll do when we create an item is just take one of the cool items. Sample 1 0. All right. And there's our scenario. Do you plan on giving your playtesters a full game for free when it comes out? Probably, yeah. It all kind of depends on how much they end up helping. But I don't know if I'll be able to tell granularly. Like, someone might sign up for playtesting just to get the game for free and then not do anything. I don't think I'd want those people to have the game for free. Okay, so now there's a problem because we're trying to set an item on a non-empty display. So we should check to see if the display is already empty. If display.has item. Yeah. So do this. And now we've got it all set up. So now we have a way of generating all these potions. And now we just need some customers. And now we can record our GIF. So let's try with this. I think the pixel art's going to look bad if we scale through the editor, the video editor. So I think what we want to do is probably scale this in the game. 308 would be this big. All right, let's pick a square-ish region and I'll hit record. And then let's see if we can zoom out to make it fit there. We could do this. It's just not going to be as zoomed into the potion area. I think we'll just shrink the video a bit. Yeah. No, go to the game. No. The game. Aw, man. I can't change what's showing right now. I don't want this showing. Discard this. I guess discard that. And that. And now we can do it. Cool. All right. Hey, Pressel. All right, so all we're trying to do here is get a nice shot of customers coming in and buying potions and stuff. So we're gonna purposely repopulate that and just wait for a few purchases to happen. All right. There. So let's see if that looked good. Is there any section of this video where, like if we start here, for example, that person buys something, these people go buy something. Yeah, it's not bad. I feel like it could probably be a little bit better. But like this segment of video, I think it needs more sales at the beginning. Because what do we have right now in here? Oh, we actually do show skeletons dropping off items. So that everything I just did was stupid. Yeah, I guess that does add more interest, seeing them put them back. All right, well, I don't want to belabor this for right now. So let's just use the video we took. Yeah, and maybe end this a little bit sooner. All right, so convert that video. Put this here as sell potions. Okay. Now we go find this. All right, so we're going to take the original size. We're going to try to max out this stuff. There's a pretty big difference between just barely close to max and actually at max. So let's try converting this. We need it to be less than 5 megabytes. And it is 4.7. Nice. Okay, so let's save that. And let's look at this, I guess. Yeah, it definitely looks better than the version on the Steam page. All right, next up is a battle. We took a battle window and had, I think, some of the ranged characters there. Mage, Archer, Paladin, Witch Doctor. Mage, Archer, Paladin, Witch Doctor. And we showed the end screen to show that you got loot and stuff. And we only showed it for a couple of seconds. All right, so let's create an instance. We're going to put this here. Actually, let's put it over the woods so that there's nothing else happening on that part of the screen. And then we need to go to the right location. And we need the right adventurers. So Mage, Archer, Witch Doctor, Paladin. And we were going to have them go to the Deep Forest. I don't actually know where they were fighting in the picture. In the video we had already. No, they were not fighting there. They're fighting in the waterways. And then we want them to win the battle. So they need to actually be leveled up. In order to do that, actually, we don't need that. Okay, so Mage, level you up a bit. Give you some abilities. Witch Doctor, level you up a bit. Give you some abilities. Paladin. And who's the last person? Rogue. Okay. And then leave this battle, and we're going to get a video of this. I'm trying to make this just be the space of the battle, but it's going to be pretty hard to do that. Also, what is the size of this right now? 265, that's fine. Okay, and then move this down a bit. And then capture the window inside there. Okay, hopefully that's good. All right, now let's just click repeat. Oh, wait, we need auto repeat on. Oh, darn it. How do we do that without me moving this thing? It's not going to be possible. I guess we could just not show the auto repeat thing at the end. Yeah, that could be fine. All right, so we're waiting for them to get to wave 2. We're not going to show that part of the video. We'll just show the wave 2 part where they're fighting those couple of enemies. And then once they beat these, we will stop the recording. I wanted to show the loot screen though. There. Yeah, so that should give people enough time to see what's going on. All right, now we change this and go just to the very end. So like here-ish. I don't want this video to be super long. It's 12 seconds right now. I don't think it needs to be that long. We can probably skip to there. So now it'll be 9 seconds. Even that, we can probably skip ahead a little bit. No, maybe a tiny bit more of the battle part of this. Yeah. All right, and then less of this section. So, okay, let's watch that. Yeah, and then cut that down just another hair. I realize I shouldn't be doing any of this here. I should be doing it in Gipsky so that if I wanted more of it, I could get more of it afterward, but whatever. Battle. Okay, now go put battle onto here. Why can't I drag it? Okay, let's just try converting it and see what happens. It thinks it's going to be 16 megabytes, so that would be way too much. So we need to either lower the frame rate or lower the quality or trim more. So how much did it end up being? 6.6. Okay, not too bad. We can probably lower the frame rate on this a little bit. It's at 30 right now. If we set it to 24, it'd probably still look fine. And it would probably be less than 5 megabytes now. No, it's 5.7. Okay, then let's lower the quality a little bit more and raise the frame rate back up. Quality is going to lead to that smearing effect, but a lower frame rate is going to lead to it feeling like a laggier game, I guess. So both are bad, but you got to sacrifice somewhere, right? It's either you show less or you cut down the size of it maybe. We could try trimming it a bit, set it to like 90%. I think that's going to mess up the pixel art. But let's take a look at the resulting video. So this is acceptable, just barely. It's 4.9 megabytes. And this is what this GIF looks like. It seems pretty good. It seems pretty good. This is the regular size that it would be. Yeah, I like this. Followed you in less than a 2-month period. Coincidence? Okay, let's save this one off now. And then we have one more GIF that we've got to get. And the last GIF is me clicking stuff on the farm. So for this, engage privacy mode, I need to change my settings so that the cursor is not gigantic. Give me a sec. I'm doing this off screen. Pointer size is set down to normal. So look at this. Look at this tiny cursor. And now all we're going to do is we're going to make the farm and we should probably click the exclamation mark over here so it doesn't show in the GIF. We're going to make the farm and we're going to harvest a few crops. That's pretty much it. And we're doing it at a somewhat slow clip. Yeah, okay. So that's what we're going to do. So make the farm. Then delete 2 of the sets of rocks. Get all of the types of crops. Make it go faster. And get that, I guess. All right, now just for the sake of... I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. All right, whatever. We'll just have the full farm. It's okay. Does it plant random crops when you do that? How did it just do that? It does plant random ones. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, well, then this won't be so bad. Except for the workers are harvesting them. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. And I don't know what we can do about that. We could just make them be busy carrying items around and turn this off. Maybe that'll work. Okay, so we want to get something that's 308 maximum. Actually, you know what? Is it more interesting to see this be automated? Is it more interesting to see adventurers go pick this stuff up? So if I just do this, well, I probably should let them grow. But then you see your whole horde go over there and start harvesting stuff. I guess it's not obvious what's happening if you do that. Yeah, I don't think I like that as much. All right, so then let's keep all the adventurers busy by doing this and this. Oh, actually, you know what? If they're battling, then they're busy. Let's just put them in a battle. And then just move the battle windows off screen. Yeah. And then that'll naturally keep the workers busy because they'll be moving the items. So now no one should harvest crops except for me. So I'll do this. And then we'll just wait for them to grow. I guess we can do that. And now we wait. Some of this needs to look a little bit real for the sake of the GIF. Yeah, so now some things are starting to come up. We're going to wait for a couple more, and now we're going to start clicking them. There. That's pretty good. All right, now we just skip to the end of this video where I started clicking these things. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Yeah, we don't need to see that many. I think that's probably fine. Still too many. Yeah, nice. I think it's better. Convert farming. Okay, now we put this over here. Can you just drag right from here onto here? No. All right, so let's bump the quality up. Why can't I do that? I can't click any of this. What's going on? Is my mouse broken? What? What's going on here? I can click these other things. Oh, wait, there. What is... I can drag this some of the time. I don't know what's happening right now. Is it because of this? Huh, yeah, that worked. Okay, well, I don't know about that. All right, let's try... I mean, this is a pretty small video. Let's just try maximum quality. Is it less than 5? It is. So let's save this. And then how does this look? Yeah, pretty good. I like that. All right, well, we got our new GIFs. I need to upload them to the Steam page. But maybe we should save these in a more permanent location. That stuff I should probably do elsewhere. So this is done. Just try this on stream so I can be confident. Update release tool to talk about the process. Maybe mention it in Obsidian if it's there too. Yeah, so we gotta talk about this stuff. The GIFs I now have, and this will allow me to post to play my game. So let's get all of this stuff written down. Upload GIFs from, I guess, the delete me folder to both Steam pages, and then save them somewhere persistent. They're in temp right now. And then post to /r/play my game. Yeah, so that stuff we are going to do off stream. So I'll put that down here. But this we can do on stream. I have the instructions here. I want these to be somewhere better. Maybe I make a gifs.md or something like that. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Or maybe I can put it in releasing. Will I search? If you search for GIF, what happens? Find GIFski. What is this doing here? Are you in the credits? What? Oh, this is the person who made something. What did they make? Super Retro World. Yeah, so they're in the credits. They need to be in the credits. They're not probably listed for that in the game, are they? Oh, no, they are. Super Retro World. It's just in a different cell in the grid table. Okay, that makes sense. Sounds, game icons. Yeah, that's all fine. All right, well, anyway, what else do we find when we search for GIF? A lock file. Sprite sheet order changer. Oh my god, I wrote a tool for that? I just did this the other day manually, didn't I? What is this thing? See sprite sheet ordering for more information. Did I write this? Hold on a second. Yes, I completely forgot about this. MD, blame. Oh my goodness. I did write this 7 months ago. Index takes a sprite sheet and swaps the order of the sprites in the second row. This is needed because we had 37 sprite sheets that had the death animations playing on backwards. Wanted them to be consistent. Wow. I just did this manually the other day because I didn't know I wrote a tool for it. I mean, I only needed to do it with one sprite, and it didn't take very long. But yeah, if I needed to do it with 37 of them, it would have taken forever. Okay, well, I guess knowing that things exist in your code base is pretty important. But who's going to remember things from 7 months ago? So I guess let's save this as gifs.md and write producing gifs instructions. Yeah, so I originally wrote this in an issue here. Where was it? Yeah, this. Background. I originally wrote about this stuff in an issue on GitHub, but I wanted to have this in a more resilient location. Well, more resilient and prominent. I guess just prominent. Okay. So record using cap. The resolution that cap reports when dragging the capture area is half of what's actually exported. Aim for 308 pixels wide, which will let us export at Steam's max width of 616. Whoops. Oh my God. What do I want right now? And the height should be in the range of 50 to 175. There's no set max, but you don't want the GIFs to be huge. Both for file size reasons and because it would require more scrolling on the Steam page. Okay, so that's all done. Set the game scale to 1x. This allows us to show more at once. And cap already doubles the resolution. Wait, so wouldn't that mean that we should be able to record at half the size? I guess that doesn't ever matter, does it? Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think there's ever a time where we want to record at 2x. And then set the OS cursor pointer size to the minimum if the cursor is going to show in videos. And then convert the cap videos into MP4s. There's no need to trim in cap itself since you can trim in Gipski. And then import the videos into Gipski and change the settings until you hit as close to 5 megabytes as possible. And there's one other little thing I wanted to write here. Oh yeah, there's no way to change the aspect ratio. Wait, none of these tools can do that, right? Even cap, where's cap? All right, let's just record anything. It doesn't matter what. I want to record. What's going on? Should open the thing. There we go. So let's just draw a square if we can there. And then we record. We're doing stuff. We're moving the cursor around. And then we click stop. Can we change the aspect ratio here? If I change this to 250. No, you cannot change the aspect ratio. Okay, so I should write that down. Neither tool lets you do that. Note, neither cap nor Gipski let you change the aspect ratio, e.g. by cropping out pixels. So make sure you get the right aspect ratio from the beginning. Okay, cool. Dino plays one of the characters for a bit, but they played as me. I'm the one to blame. Okay, so we got our gifts. We wrote our instructions. That's been done. So now check that in, but we don't want any of these other things here. Oh, wait, we want this. What is this doing? Yeah, we want that. Update GIF instructions. And then we want to save off this code. I want this in like town debug functions somewhere. Although I'm going to forget that this exists. I'm definitely going to forget that this exists. If you open an MP4 with quick look and edit, can you crop there? You might be able to. Where's the edit button? That's share, right? This is rotate. This is probably trim. And there's open with VLC. I don't think there is an edit button specifically, but it might be a quick action. No, it's just rotate and trim. Which most of the time I imagine you would want for videos. I could trim in a proper video editor, or crop in a proper video editor. But at that point, I feel like it's too heavyweight. Like it already took a long enough time to make 4 GIFs for this thing. Granted, we shouldn't have to keep doing this. The original problem we had was the quality was low. And that was just because I didn't know about GIFski. So the solution was use GIFski. In the future, the problem is going to be that the game will have changed enough, or we want to highlight different things, in which case we'll record new GIFs. But then once we have the release version of these GIFs, we probably shouldn't need to touch them again for a while. Doesn't mean I never need to make new ones, because any patch notes should probably highlight whatever change we made in GIF form because it's more consumable. Yeah, so I want to save this code somewhere. I don't know, where do I write this? Private void debug add items directly to shop. Okay, so just saving this as a reference, since we occasionally want this for recording a GIF or something. All right, so delete that, delete this. So yeah, here's how this looks. Let's delete a couple of these, something like that. And get the displays. If it has an item, then do all of this stuff. If it doesn't have an item, I mean. Okay, I think that's good. Is there any way we can trim this down? Because I want this to be as small as possible. We can put... No, that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess cool items could be sampled from this. Oh, but it needs to be made into a new list if I do that. Or I need to use a different sample function. Okay, not worth it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so this is a debug function that nothing is ever calling. We're going to check this in. Add debug function as a reference point. I needed this function to record a GIF, and I always forget what you have to do in addition to set item to get items to not appear like they're floating. It's calling item was picked up. Any other changes we want to save? None of that, none of that, none of that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so commit that and then revert all of this. It's also annoying to use. I think you have to import media. Yeah, and if we can just record it the right size to begin with, I think that's fine. I think that Like maybe the ideal flow would be if there were one tool I could just record the whole screen and be like, oh, I want this portion of it. But I imagine anything that would do that would just be slower. Either it's got more to process, more to like take out of the frame. So yeah, I don't mind the flow that we have now for this. So this has been saved. Respond to Steam discussions, figure out a launch day by mid-August. This is just add a calendar reminder. Oh, I guess we should just write that here. Figure out a launch date. Oh my god. This is just so much to do. Wait, that was the wrong thing. Yeah, no, that was the right thing. Figure out a launch date and then add a calendar reminder to get streamers / influencers ready for launch. Use a new GIF for the slime battle. I did that, right? Yeah, I did that. We have the snake, don't we? Intro poison. Yeah, look at that snake. Update the text to say snake instead of slime. Yep, we got to do that. Update the store description text. And then what else? This version doesn't have the cheats menu accessible. Did we do that? I think we did that. And now this is written down. Okay, all right. I think we're in good shape. It's 10:22. How are we going to celebrate the launch? A fancy dinner. You can only eat with the world's tiniest forks. How you know it's fancy. Let me fill out the journal here. This takes longer and longer. Prepped for being able to launch the first playtest version. But I can't easily follow through on that while streaming. Man. Okay. Well, my goal with Tuesday and Thursday. Whoops. Oh, wait, hang on. Before I forget, I'm going to finish that sentence. There's just like 4 other things that popped up in the meantime. Yeah, so let's check this in. Yeah, so goal on Tuesday and Thursday is just kickstart my day. And that's why I started streaming this. So I'm very regimented when it comes to the stream. I typically start early every single time. I very rarely take breaks while I'm streaming. And I'm typically more productive. And those are all desirable qualities on a day that would otherwise be turned into like, oh yeah, I'll sleep in. It's not a stream day. Yeah, I'll watch a YouTube video or something. So now we've got some momentum. I definitely want to finish all of this stuff today. This is done. Yeah, I want to finish all this stuff today. And then any extra time would be consider the reusing locations document and maybe some marketing stuff. But I don't know if we'll get that extra time. Yeah, I think the stream's done now. I know the uptime was only a little less than 2 hours. But I mean, I didn't take a break during that time. And like I said, I met my goal. And now I want to launch the playtest version. And there's a lot of that I could do on stream, but I need to do it in a screen, in a window on my other monitor. So I'm gonna go find someone to raid. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow should be like a full stream day. But yeah, I think today went well. I'm happy with how it went. Okay, I was seeing if anyone new was streaming. Or not new, sorry. Someone old was streaming, but that I never get to raid. Actually, yeah, Nico is streaming. Let's raid Nico. I don't think I've gotten to raid Nico in a long time. This is totally different content. So this is Nico Rescue Zoo that I'm going to raid. And yeah, they run a zoo. And it's very different from the normal content here. All right, thank you all for watching. Here's the Discord link. Here's the Steam link. I'm going to go. I'll be back in about 22 hours, something like that. So yeah, see you then. Have a good rest of your day.